way.
So let's show Kevin McCarthy from yesterday, and maybe Mika, you can break it down.
Yeah.
And
what went wrong?
What Christopher Walken what advice Christopher Walken would give McCarthy. Let's see this. I love this.
If there's anyone who gained from this, it'd be anybody who's running for president that's not in the U.S. Senate. With Iowa quickly upon us in early February, those 4 senators who are running for president will now no longer have a voice. If you look at the true political nature of why, to harm one campaign and give a benefit to another. The only rightful thing of Joe Biden is to make a pledge not to campaign, why Bernie Sanders cannot.
Oh, my God,
Oh,
it's
my
so bad.
God.
Willie, what technique does he need to use?
No,
I'd go Meisner.
no.
There.
Meisner?
I'd go
No.
Meisner.
Guys.
Mika, what do you think?
He would not be accepted into the festival.
Well, of course
There's
he
nothing
wouldn't.
you can do
Of
there.
course he wouldn't, but
the
I'm just
worst
saying.
actor I think of. It's painful.
I don't know about the worst. I mean, have you seen Ted Cruz when he goes on a tear, acting shocked and stunned and deeply saddened?
That's pretty good stuff.
That is good
Yeah,
stuff.
but you can't fix that.
Anyway, so we have business to do.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Joining us now, former Assistant United States Attorney, the Southern District of New York, Mimi Rocah. She is a distinguished fellow in criminal justice at Pace School of Law and is now a candidate for Westchester County District Attorney. Also with us, host of MSNBC's Politics Nation and president of the National Action Network, Reverend Al Sharpton.
So, Mimi, let's just stay focused on what happened last night. Rachel Maddow's interview. Talk about a bombshell. That was remarkable. What was your takeaway?
A bombshell. I mean, and here's the thing. We can talk, and I would love to talk about specific things that Parnas said. And Maddow did an incredible job of not just asking him questions, but tying what he was saying to the documents that he's provided and to the text messages and things like that. So that, Republicans, they're not even necessarily saying he's a liar, because what he said is so bad, so damaging, so incriminating. They're just saying, they're kind of, I didn't see it. It's hard for them to even attack his credibility, given the documents and given the evidence that he's given over that corroborates. But here's the other thing I think we really need to focus on, and it's so hard because there's so many scandals with Trump.
Right.
Bill Barr.
Yeah.
Why is Rachel Maddow, who I love and respect, being the one to interview Lev Parnas in this depth? Where is Bill Barr? And Bill Barr comes out with a statement last night. The Department of Justice says that this is not true. So now Bill Barr is investigating himself and clearing himself? That's not how our justice system works.
I mean, he's Donald Trump's legal bag man. He is Donald Trump's legal hitman.
And we knew that before, but I think last night really brought that into stark contrast, stark reality, because you see someone who is implicating the president, Giuliani, and others in potentially very serious crimes. I mean, put aside impeachment for a second. And our Department of Justice not only isn't doing anything about it, as far as I can tell, but sat on this evidence until a judge released it.
And Willie, the thing is, as Jeremy said last hour, all of this operation, this drug deal, as John Bolton called it, so much of it funded by a Russian mobster.
Yeah.
Where is the Attorney
crazy.
General on that front?
Well, he's with the other Republicans in the Senate who don't believe there's anything to see here. But Mimi, I'm glad you're here today as a former prosecutor from the Southern District, because Lev Parnas is under indictment in the Southern District. There are people already last night and this morning who are saying, this guy, he's out trying to save his hide. You can't trust him. He's a shady guy. How do you take, because a lot of people are saying, at the very least, take it with a grain of salt. Some people saying, forget what he's saying. How do you take his testimony, not his testimony, but his interview with Rachel last night as a former prosecutor?
Right, so he is a shady guy. Lev Parnas is a shady guy, just like Michael Cohen was a shady guy. But here's the question. Rachel Maddow didn't pick him. The Southern District of New York didn't pick him. Trump and Rudy Giuliani picked him. They pick shady people. Who else is going to go out and be surveilling a U.S. ambassador?
Well, and by the way, Mimi, there's some Republicans saying, oh, he's just trying to help himself in the prosecution. What he did last night didn't help him legally. There's not a lawyer on the face of the earth that would say, hey, go out and spill your guts on national television. Every defense lawyer would say, don't talk. Keep your head down. be quiet. What he did last night, he did actually probably to protect his physical safety. Like what he did last night was probably try to give himself a life insurance policy and get out there so he didn't end up, well, I'll just say, so he just wanted to protect himself because legally,
like Stephanie Grisham said,
legally, that is the last thing that any defendant would want to do.
That's absolutely right. I mean, look, he is in legal jeopardy. He's facing criminal charges. The only way he can get out from under those charges is to get a cooperation agreement with the Southern District of New York. And I say this, and this is like, I've really never said this before. I do not know if he doesn't have a cooperation. I don't know why he doesn't have a cooperation agreement with the Southern District of New York.
Well, could it be because Bill Barr's
And I am
Attorney General?
concerned for the first time in 16 and a half years that I worked at the Department of Justice, I'm concerned for the first time that it is because our Attorney General is so corrupt that he is stopping that.
Well, because if he has a deal, Mike, guess who he's going to implicate? He's going to implicate Barr. Now, any other lawyer, any other Attorney General in U.S. history, other than maybe John Mitchell, they'd say, you know what, I've got to get out of this case. I'm going to turn this over to a special prosecutor.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Or I'm going to give the district attorney the freedom to do this because I'm the guy that's flying across the globe actually trying to prove conspiracy theories about Ukraine. Barr is so dirty in all of this. He's up to his neck in scandal here. And yet he's still not disassociating himself from this case. And yeah, we know why Lev doesn't have a deal.
We already have ample evidence of Bill Barr's arrogance in dealing with justice and with the law.
I wish it were just arrogance.
It is beyond arrogance, but we saw it when his twisted definition of the Mueller report was issued prior to the report being issued. And last night, the Justice Department's reaction to Rachel's interview was 100% false. That was it. No explanation. But that's something that we're going to have to find out going down the road. But Reverend, let me ask you, Mimi was talking about Parnas. We've all been talking about Parnas. Shady guy, allegations, but still, this is a trial. What do we do as a country now, thinking about the jurors in the trial, otherwise known as United States senators? Because in any legal aspect here, you're going to get shady people on the stand. You're going to get allegations on the stand. That just happens every single day in courtrooms across this country. What do we do about United States senators / jurors who have already said, there's nothing here?
I think that what you're going to do is you're going to have the public now, particularly after Parnas's interview and Bolton saying that he wanted to testify, demand that we want to see a trial. The irony is Rudy Giuliani, who has bragged about how he broke the mob, how he was the one that stopped the mob, that he prosecuted them successfully. How did he do it? He got mobsters to turn on them. He had the mob's Parnases to testify against them. So now you have Parnas that is prepared to testify against him out of the Giuliani school book. He's using his own method of Giuliani against him. Who else can testify against shady people? The real question is, why were you hanging with shady people, Rudy? Why were you taking photographs, Mr. President, with shady people? You were all in the shade together. And I think that is what they're going to have to deal with the public. Because either you are part of the shade or you're part of the sunshine. And let us bring into the sunshine all of the people that's been hiding under the shade and see what's really there.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.